You're looking to grow your business and you've decided that the way you want to do that is by doing some networking, and you're wondering, how do I find networking events in my area? Hi, my name is Tiffanie Kellog, and I love helping entrepreneurs grow their business by networking and referrals. And so I'm really excited to dive into this question and help you out with how to find those networking events. In this video, we're actually going to cover a couple of topics in support of this, though at any point in time that you want to fast forward down below, you can go to the description and click on the time for the topic, and it'll take you right there so you can skip over. For example, our first conversation is going to be what's the purpose of networking. Then we're going to talk about where to find networking events near me, because we may not want to drive too far. We're going to talk about the best business referral network, because that's why we're going. We want referrals, right? And a quick conversation at the end on how to grow your referral business. What is the purpose of networking in business? I think oftentimes when people think of, let me go to networking events, they think of, I'm going to walk into this room full of people and who can I sell to? There's a slight problem with that, though, because where many people are thinking, I want to go sell to the people in the room, how many people are actually attending networking events with the intention of buying? And the answer is very few. So if people are going to sell, but nobody's going to buy, we call that the networking disconnect. Something's wrong there. And so I thought, as we look at this, what's the purpose of networking? I would look at Incentive's definition of networking, which is the process of developing and activating your contacts to increase your business, enhance your knowledge, and expand your sphere of influence. So there is a lot going on when it comes to networking. And we're going to spend most of this video with a referral-minded focus, because I think that's how a lot of people are going to networking, though I want to make sure that you realize that there's other aspects to networking as well. And when I go networking, to me, my purpose is to book a meeting from the meeting. So when I go to the networking event, I'm trying to see, okay, who in the room or in the Zoom, if I'm on a Zoom networking event, am I looking to meet? Who are going to be those people that I can develop the right referral relationships with? Or perhaps they're a prospect, or perhaps they can, help me increase my sphere of influence. There's a lot of reasons why I might be going to a networking event. And I've got a whole bunch of videos on networking. I'll leave a couple down in the description below, so if you want to check those out. But to me, as we think about this, remember, the purpose of networking isn't necessarily to sell. It's going to create those relationships. And we might want to do that by booking a meeting from the meeting. Let's talk about where to go to find networking events. My number one answer, the first thing that I'm going to do if I'm trying to find networking events, is ask the people that I already know, that I like and trust, that I want to be like, hey, where are you networking? Because it is possible that they are part of groups that you would love to visit. And so I'm going to ask, before we get off the phone, where do you go networking? Or if we're meeting one-to-one, having a coffee, or over Zoom, where are you networking? And I know for this conversation, we're talking networking events near you. So we're mainly talking that's here in person, though it could be networking events that are held online for geography near you. I find there's kind of two different kinds of people. Those that can do business regardless of where we are in a geography terminology. So for example, I can do business easily all over the world because of the computer. Then you have the other professionals, like the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, the trades, the electrician, the heating, the AC, where they're not going to want to drive all over the globe to do their business. So it just varies on if online works for you, or if you just want to do it in person. So ask what groups you're a part of, and can I visit if it's something that interests you? Now, that's a very personal way to do it. Sometimes when I'm looking for stuff, I love to just throw it out there on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Twitter, I don't know how to do TikTok, but let me know if you do that down in the comments below. If you ask people on TikTok, let me know how that goes. Maybe that'll be my reason to get over to TikTok. But so you can ask on social media, hey, I'm looking for a networking group that meets, and you can share breakfast, lunch, dinner time, in this neighborhood or this part of town, and just ask the people in your network for the recommendation of groups. Lastly, there's Google. So you could put in something as simple as business network, Or if you happen to know that you're looking for a chamber of commerce, you can put Chamber of Commerce near me. And that does bring us to networking events near me. And what is your definition of a networking event? When it comes to defining a network near me, it does depend. For example, one of our Referrals for Life community members, Jason Avery, he lives about an hour away from where he spends most of his time networking. And you might think, why in the world would I want to live here and network there? For him, it's all about his target market. His target market, his ideal clients aren't living in the same area that he is. He's out in the country. He wants to work with the people that are more in the older homes in the city. And so he wants to help remodel those kitchens and bathrooms. So for him, networking near me is kind of a loose thing. And so instead of putting in, Chamber of Commerce near me, he might want to put Chamber of Commerce in Palm Harbor, Chamber of Commerce in South Tampa. And so you may want to look at what is near me. Keep in mind the opportunity you have for these online groups that are geography based. Again, as I mentioned, some are based on geography, some aren't, and there's opportunity there. Now, to me, many of us are going to these networking events because we want to figure out how to get more referrals for our business. So what is the best business referral networking? Well, so best is one of those things. I always hate when people say, what's your favorite? Because it's like, do I really have to choose? And we do have some choices because there's actually 7 different types of networking organizations. You have casual contact networking groups, which is like the Chamber of Commerce. You have strong contact networking groups, which is like BNI. You have those community service clubs, which is like the Rotary and Kiwanis and Lion, Tigers, and Bear. Oh my, well, maybe not those, but the animals. You've got professional associations, you have social groups, you have gender and ethnic organizations, and you have the online groups. So we have 7 groups to choose from. And I know I went through those really quick. I have a video on Facebook that goes in depth, in detail in those 7 different types of groups. So you can check that out. I'll put it in the description below. But when it comes to what's the best, it depends. Depends on you. It depends on what you're looking for. Phil Bedford, who recently was interviewed for our Networking at Noon, talks about how his salsa group is the best referral network for him. And I know you've done a really amazing job taking a passion that you have, salsa dancing, and combining that with your networking efforts. Can you share kind of how that came to be, how you do that? Because you can't like network a salsa event like you do if you're going to a technical business event. So how have you been able to utilize that network that's not business for your business?
Well, I think ultimately we need to take a step back and just say, well, look, as we were saying before, nothing can happen unless people know you exist, right? There's no point being the world's best kept secret. No one can buy from you, no one can help you, and no one can refer you and recommend you if they don't know you exist. So number one, it's really how do you get in front of as many people as possible? And then how do you get those people to like you and know something about you? And so for me, my hobby was salsa. And because I was driving my salsa, I was putting lots of people in a room and teaching 20, 40, 60 people at a time to dance salsa, and it was all having fun. And people are curious. They're also, so what does this guy do anyway? Is this his real, is this his full-time job, or is this just a hobby? So people would search you out. And so number one, loads of people got to know who I was. Then they were interested to know more. Plus they liked me. And then so what started to happen is all these people had jobs themselves. And so I got all kinds of things from my salsa. In fact, of all the networking groups I've ever been in, I've got my biggest strategic opportunities through my salsa group, and it's never something I would have expected. And the majority of it actually came by chance, purely because people wanted to get involved and wanted to look. It was the strangest thing. And I've been a member of groups where I've paid a lot of money, and I've done well in them, but just not as strategic as this. So I think going back, it's that whole thing of how to get as many people as possible to know what you do, to have an interest in you, to like you, and to want to help you. And for me, it was salsa.
That's awesome. Get to turn something fun into business without forcing it.
Mm.
For me and my business, I actually found BNI is the best network for me. I get 72% of my business from BNI. And so that's the best group for me. So it varies. It depends. find something social and have fun with it. And if you're not sure how to make that happen, we talk about it more in Incentive, or check out bni.com to see a chapter near you. Maybe the chamber is what you're looking for. There's so many options, which is a beautiful thing. So you don't have to pick a favorite. You just see which one's the right flavor for you. Now, lastly, again, and a lot of times we're networking to help us grow our referral business. Now, I know sometimes it could be I'm going networking to meet the people that my clients or my prospects need. I'm looking to fill in gaps. I'm looking to meet the people that can refer me to the people to work for me. So I get that there's other reasons, but at least for this video, we're going to look at this aspect of, growing your referral business. And so Cliff Notes version here, going to keep this short because I actually have a full 5-week program. It's free. More Referrals, 5 steps to referral success. But just to give you an overview, step number 1, find your ideal clients. Who are the people that pay you well, that you enjoy working with? How do you identify them in such a way that you can communicate to your referral sources and they find them on your behalf? Which leads us to step 2. We've got to figure out who are going to be those best referral sources. A, not all referral sources are created equally. Some are going to be able to refer you more than others. B, there's actually 8 different kinds of referral sources that can refer you. And C, clients should not be your best referral source. Now, clients typically know a handful of people like them, so they should be a good referral source, but there is a better referral source than even your clients. Then we move to step 3 and 4, and I lump them together because they go together. And that's you need to educate your referral sources and you need to motivate your referral sources. And I put them together because it's like 2 sides of a coin. You've got to have both. You can't have one without the other. You've got to teach them about your business so that they're knowledgeable and they can say things about you. Because if they're motivated by you, but they're not educated, we like to call that ignorance on fire. It's like, hey, let me refer you to Susie. Tell me about Susie. She's great. What does she do? A good job. Well, and doing what? Awesome stuff. Ignorance on fire. So we have to educate them so they know what to talk about you. But we also have to motivate them, because if they've got the knowledge, but they're not inspired to do anything to help you, they're not going to pass you any referrals. And that brings us to step 5 in creating our referral success. And that's asking for referrals. Now, most people, when it comes to asking for referrals, do it wrong, because they say something like, do you know anybody that needs my product or service? And it's easy to get a no. And to me, when you're asking for referrals, you should never, ever get a no. Instead, you want to use the languaging, I'm expanding my business and I need your help. Who do you know? Who? And then give us a very specific referral request. Tell us the ideal client that you're looking for. It's going to make a huge difference. Again, this is the Cliff Notes version. Here it is. Maybe it's even the Twitter version, just like really quick. You can enroll online for free for the MORE Referrals 5 steps to referral requests to get the longer, detailed versions of how to make that happen. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. What networking groups are you finding near you? Which ones do you want to check out? What has been your top takeaway, or I like to say eTiffanie, from our video today? While you're down there, be sure to like the video as well as subscribe to the channel for more tips on how to make more money, save more time, and have more fun. Happy networking, y'all.